bonus video 5. For this video, I'm going to attend to the great journalistic question. When? When should I, when ought I apply my keywords or otherwise other metadata? The question is, in the beginning. So what I want to do today is share with you a document I put together called my raw workflow. Let me show it to you. Hey, raw edits, a possible workflow. And I'm going to show you step by step what I actually do and in the order that I usually do it. Now this is Bridge and Adobe Camera Raw. And so I import my images from my camera, and that's when on the import, you've seen this already, I create a folder and I rename my files on the way in. I automatically convert to DNG. It shows you that, and so on. And the second big outline step is I view my files as thumbnails in my workspace. I rate my images. I sort my images and filter my images, and here it is. I keyword my images. So I'm just proving to you that this is actually when I do it. As soon as they come off my camera, I keyword them. Now I've got a little mark there at the end of that little dagger. And when do I rate? When do I keyword? And there's a little asterisk and a little dagger. And I just want you to see that these steps can be done in any order. It's raw. It's not Photoshop. In Photoshop, the order that you do things actually really impacts your images in different ways, but not so in Bridge with the non-destructive Adobe Camera Raw plugin. You can do things in any order. And so the order isn't all that important. I'm just illustrating what my typical order is in my workflow. Also, it says optional step. So if there's a dagger, I'm letting you know that's an optional step. I don't always do those things because sometimes I'm editing in Bridge and I've already keyworded my images. So it's optional. I don't do it every time I open Bridge, but I do it every time my images come off the card. You follow me? Now I want you to pay attention also to these yellow highlights, because these are things I always do. I don't think I ever stray from this. I name a folder and rename my files on the way in, skip to the next. I select my images to edit. I don't edit them all, I edit my keepers. I do Command R for edit in the Adobe Camera Raw editor. Timeout. Some of you have already taken my little baby course on Adobe Camera Raw editing. It's called Editing in Adobe Camera Raw. How do I come up with these very clever names? But as of March 2022, there's a full-fledged, reworked version of that available on bpsop.com. Adobe made major changes to Adobe Camera Raw at the end of 2021, and we rectify and update all those edits, changes, and so on in the new Adobe Camera Raw in that latest video. It would really add to your knowledge of Bridge. So check that out at bpsop.com. So here I'm showing you that in part 4. I'm saying Command R, open it in the Edit Raw. I save a snapshot in Camera Raw that's explained in that course. I'll correct my exposure. I may crop or straighten. I apply an adjustment brush here or there, and I do that to the hero in my image. I don't sharpen everything in most photos, but I do sharpen my hero, and I do that with a brush right here. Okay? Maybe the hero in the photo is the eyes alone. That's what gets my edit. I click Done. I go to the menu, Tools menu, and I go to Cache, and I build and export my cache specifically, and that's something that you're going to learn to do here in Bridge. I build 100% previews in that little option. I export my cache to the folders. That's it. I'm going to close that. You have that coming if you'll send me an email saying, I want your raw workflow. That's how I'll know you got to bonus video 5. I'm going to go to Bridge as if that had just happened. We'll wrap up this video, and here is my, let's say, last photo shoot. I'm going to go to my most recent images and I'm sorting by date created. Open it up, look at my images, apply my keywords. We've been there, we've done that. On the way out, tools, cache, manage the cache. I told you I build 100% previews. Takes more hard drive space, but makes for a much prettier image. And I also export that to its folder, right? There's an invisible cache file that will be exported to that folder. I say, okay, bang, 8 out of 8, done. Now your mileage may vary. Do you have a fast computer? Do you have enough RAM? Do you have a big enough hard drive? That may take a while to generate. Anyway, that was a bonus video in week 1, you may recall. That's it, my friends. That's it for bonus video 5.